Why sexual assault survivors in college don't report. How can social workers help? By Josh Halsworth, Tony Fajardo, and Yolmar Chacon Garcia.
Socio-legal construct over time.
Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was created to outlaw discrimination in the workplace. The historical roots of the Me Too movement began with Anita Hill hearing in 1991. The Me Too movement began 10 years ago on MySpace by Tarana Burke. She created this to encourage Black and Hispanic women victimized by sexual misconduct to come forward with experiences in a protected context. Women are more likely to engage in help seeking, and about 1 in every 10 rape victims is male. 2.78 million males have experienced an attempted or completed rape. 19% of women were sexually assaulted during their enrollment in college, and 80% of survivors do not report the assault to university authorities. Clery Act and Violence Against Women Act require universities to respond to allegations of sexual assault. The Campus Sexual Violence Elimination Act, SAVE, went into effect in 2015. This mandates that universities provide counseling and legal services to sexual assault survivors, regardless of whether the assault occurred on campus or if the assailant is a student. Title IX, passed in 1973, which prohibits sexual discrimination in any federally funded programs. Title IX requires universities to have a Title IX coordinator to which survivors of sexual assault can report their abuse, as well as requiring universities to offer counseling and support to victims of sexual assault. In 2011, President Obama strengthened Title IX to provide better treatment for survivors of sexual assault. In 2017, Betsy DeVos, Trump's Secretary of Education, rolled back President Obama's Title IX enhancements, making it more difficult for survivors to name their accuser and to receive benefits.
The Feminist Standpoint Theory and Why Female Survivors Don't Report.
The Feminist Standpoint Theory examines the subjugation of marginalized populations to better understand the aggression of dominant groups. Our patriarchal society blames victims by saying they dressed too provocatively or should not have been drinking. Our culture values male sexual aggression over female rights.
It was not a big enough deal.
29.1% of women stated this is the reason for not reporting. Feminist Standpoint Theory states that women receive messages from the dominant culture that they should downplay or dismiss the severity of sexual assaults, as male sexual aggression is more important than their own rights.
Because I was drunk.
9.1% of respondents did not report sexual assault because they felt they were drunk at the time of the assault. Feminist Standpoint Theory proposes that in a rape culture where victims are blamed and excessive drinking is used as an excuse, sexual assault survivors do not feel they can report such incidents.
I didn't want to get him in trouble.
7.3% of respondents stated they did not report for fear of causing long-term harm to assailants' careers and reputations. The Feminist Standpoint Theory posits that women are socialized to serve as caring and nurturing individuals, so even in the face of a horrible crime, they share a deep sense of empathy with their attackers. Social workers can help survivors identify with the root causes of their empathy for their attackers. They can also show them that their own needs and safety should take top priority.
Why male survivors don't report.
Because of shame, guilt, and/or embarrassment of not being able to stop rape, men do not want friends and families to know. They do not want to be perceived as homosexual. And most men are less likely than women to disclose for fear of not being believed. Rape myths, such as men cannot be raped, If the man achieved an erection and an orgasm, then he must have wanted it. Men are to blame for not escaping. Men do not need counseling after rape. Many men do not report the rape until they are seen on physical health exams. Social workers can include screening questions for male sexual assault survivors on intake evaluations, as well as educate male survivors about their own false assumptions. Most sexual assault treatment models are based around feminist perspectives. Men are naturally discouraged from reporting and feel less comfortable in treatment programs. Social workers can help create more male affirmative treatment modalities to encourage male participation.
Social workers can help. Evidence-based practices.
Social workers can use non-blaming language. For example, do not ask why they did not seek help sooner. They can educate males on the inaccuracy of male rape myths. They can help males understand they are not any less masculine for having been assaulted. And they can actively facilitate disclosure, as men are often reluctant. Social workers should be aware of male survivor symptomology, such as depression, uncontrollable crying, aggression, sexually acting out, sexual problems such as excessively low or high sex drive, eating disturbances, and even insomnia. Social workers can also help by referring survivors to literature that lets them know they are not alone. For example, Everything You Need to Know When You Are the Male Survivor of Rape or Sexual Assault by John Lavelle, Male on Male Rape by Michael Scarce, Male Victims of Sexual Assault by Gillian C. Measy and Michael B. King, and Male Rape, Breaking the Silence on the Last Taboo by Richie J. McMullen. Another evidence-based practice is cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT can help women by changing their maladaptive schema of self-blaming. It can also help men by helping them to reframe their thinking regarding masculinity after sexual assault.
You're not a victim for sharing your story. You are a survivor, setting the world on fire with your truth. And you never know who needs your light, your warmth, and raging courage.